Hi, I'm Jim Brown, and I've got a new show on the Genesis Communications Network. We're on Sunday mornings from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. Central Time. We take the week and kind of do a review of the week, what's been happening in the week that has a common sense quotient. That's where I'm coming from on the show. Things that ought to make common sense, but often do not. We've so polarized this country today with the left and the right, Republicans and Democrats, and often we don't get a lot of common sense talk, and that's what I try to do on my show. Last week we did a show on the oil spill down in Louisiana, which is where I happen to be from, but the national implications, the huge increase in cost for seafood, for gasoline, no matter where you live in this country, the lack of so many things that should have been in place. Why wasn't there a federal plan in place to deal with oil spills? 3,500 wells in the Gulf of Mexico. It's almost like your house caught on fire and you go out and have to build a fire truck to put the fire out because there's been no planning by the feds or the state in this issue. We talked a little bit about that in terms of the common sense quotient. I also try to deal with emotional issues a good bit. Right to die, for example. 5 states allow you to terminate your life if several doctors say that you have a short time to live, a few months to live. You're in great pain. You just don't want to be a burden on your family. You just feel like, hey, it's over. I lived a great life. And with medicine extending life so much, should you have the right to die? Very controversial. What's the common sense bottom line on an issue like that? How about guns in church? I went to the Walmart the other day, 2 guys carrying their six shooters, Jesse James and Wyatt Earp. Now in Louisiana and in several states, you can take a gun and take it into church. Do you need to carry guns in church? You don't carry them to football games. You don't bring it in a federal courthouse. But now you can bring your guns in church in some states. It's kind of packing heat for the Lord, I guess. If you got to have guns in church, maybe you ought to find another church, quite frankly. But something that is very emotional. I'm a gun owner. I have kids that have guns. I taught them how to use guns. I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment. Having said that, should you have guns in church? So a lot of issues like that reviewing the week. We also try to bring a little humor into the quotient. We ought to have some fun on Sunday morning. I'm finding it's a good time because, Catholics are going to church more and more on Saturday. A lot of people are out driving around on Sunday. A good time for your listeners to tune in, and a lot of stations using reruns. I'm a live show. We review the week, bring some humor into it, a good mix, and I hope you'll consider taking our show here in the Genesis Communications Network. I've got a website I wish you'd look at. It's JimBrownUSA.com. It'll tell you a lot about me and my past. I've been in politics. I write columns. I have a publishing company. It'll tell you all about it on that particular link. And I take a lot of phone calls on my show. And by the way, I want to do some remotes too. If you've got a special event in your area, I'll be happy if we can work out the time slot to come on in your area and do a live remote from your location, no matter where you are in the country. That's a little bit about my show. It's called Jim Brown's Common Sense. We'll give you some links to take a look at, and I sure hope you'll consider taking the show on a regular basis. Take care.